Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Henry Ford. It's a pleasure to be here today at Simon Fraser University. Thank you very much. How many here would consider yourself a critical thinker, where your mind works hard and you question everything and it just doesn't quit? If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. I would like to offer you a new understanding, identity, and even community today. I'm a brain and behavior strategist. I consider myself the thinker's advocate, and I will champion for every critical thinker. They have actually been the focus of my practice for the last 15 years. My clients are what I term pro-cognitive. That means they are pro-thinking, and that is not a very popular thing to be these days. And there's one common question that I get in my practice. Where are the others like us? Where are the deep thinkers? Where are the critical thinkers? Have you ever wondered that? Where are your people? And have you ever been told that you're too intense, just a little too much? Or my personal favorite, you're too smart for your own good. What does that even mean? Have you ever sat at a movie and thought to yourself, am I the only one that sees the gaps in this story? We are quick to see patterns, incongruencies, holes and flaws, and we're also pretty quick to point them out, which sometimes makes us unpopular and misunderstood, where people say, that person's a bit difficult or challenging. The other thing we tend to do is ask a lot of questions. We're the one in the classroom or the symposium asking all the questions. And it's not because we're trying to be difficult. We are questioning because questioning is our natural state of being. I have been told to lighten up. Perhaps you have too. But depth does not feel dark to me. I crave substance over things that are shallow. And for one moment, deep thinkers, I would like us to consider the deep feelers of the world. Do you know who I'm talking about? The empaths. These people are naturally deep feeling, not because they're trying to be, but because that's their natural state. That's who they are. Now, 25 years ago, nobody knew what that meant. In fact, these people were told that they're too sensitive, overly emotional. And then came this magic word, this name that validated them, their existence and their experience. And with that, they realized they weren't alone. In fact, they weren't the only one in the room that was like that. The ache for home lives in all of us. It's a safe place where we can go and be as we are without question. Maya Angelou. What's in a name? Community. Understanding. Home. And that will turn isolation into belonging. Do you want a community of like-minded people? You need to name it, to claim it. The same shift that happened for the deep feelers, I want to see happen for the deep thinkers. What is our name? What is our identity, our community? We are the Cognapaths, and we take the thinking road. And if you've been nodding since the beginning of this, as I see some of you have, you are likely a Cognapath. Now at this point, there is usually at least one or two people in the room who wonder, what if I'm both? What if I am both deep thinking and deep feeling? Fabulous. Then you are the all, an omnipath, the crossover between the Cognipath and the empath. And you received a double download of intensity, of both sensitivity and cognition. Congratulations, because you think and feel more than everybody else around you. And you may not have fit in with the other empaths and not known why, despite the fact that they were supposed to be your people, but you did not match in some basic cognitive ways. Now, this is not just a fun academic exercise that we're doing today. I believe that lives are at stake. Statistically, we are at higher risk with more feelings and thoughts of feeling more isolation and more despair. With this amount of neuro-intensity, if we are lacking support, it's difficult to move forward. That is why I'm formatting resources at drcleverly.com to both help you quiet and gain peace of mind, as well as have assessments to determine which neurotype you are. If you see yourself in any of these leans mentioned, you are a minority, but you are not alone. The terminology that you've heard today is my own framework. Terms that I have coined to help identify us and give us a sense of belonging. Now, there are established neurotypes out there that overlap with this framework. HSP, for example, the highly sensitive person, is well documented. And that person is sensitive in that they take in a lot of information from their environment, both external and internal. I think we would be better called highly perceptive. They say that we are 1 in 5 persons. That is 20% of the population. However, I believe that that is an underestimate. I will be honest with you. It is not easy to be among these neurotypes, but it is rewarding to both have that brain and, I can tell you, to work with that brain. We are the visionaries. We are the quiet revolutionaries. And when thinkers of the world finally unite, great change can occur. If you have been searching for your people, welcome. To the Cognapaths, the Omnipaths, and the critical thinkers, let's all start a thinker's revolution. We can change the way that the world sees thinkers, and most importantly, we can change the way that we see ourselves. Thank you.